There's never been anyone who's wore a T-shirt that said 55 is the new 20. Maybe 50 is the new 20, but you're really pulling at that one, Terry. No such thing as 55 is the new 20.
I'm gonna go get that T-shirt made today.
You should.
53 is the new 20.
Oh, there you go.
Is that Dave Kohansky?
That's right.
Dave, are you really 53 years old?
That's right.
Oh, dude, in a couple years, you can get some discounts on food when we go to Denny's. I can't wait to hang out with you.
Yeah, I know.
It's awesome.
56 is the new 20.
I knew why I made you my friend. There you go.
Is the new 20.
Yeah. So, guys, I had a really amazing day yesterday. For those of you guys that follow me personally on social media, you know, this whole entire movement here, if you guys can unmute your line if you'd be so kind. Got some noise coming through. But, you know, the name of this movement is PathChangers, and you all know that. Just so you know, if you guys want to, you can go to PathChangers.org every morning when you log in, and just type in PathChangers.org. It'll take you right into the Zoom channel. So for those of you who have been here before, if you don't want to type in that long Zoom link with the 446-690-701, anytime I go live on Zoom, you just type in PathChangers.org. It'll take you right to this channel, make things easy for you to remember and easy for you to share with other people if you want to affect positive and radical change in other people's lives. But let me share a quick story with you. Yesterday, I had a meeting with a man who is responsible for what we're doing here today. That man is my path changer. And his name is Warren Rosegreen. I'm going to show you guys a video real quick for you to take a look at. This is the story that led to what we're doing here today. And then I'm going to talk about the concept today. Today, we're going to talk about path changers, and then I'm going to introduce you to Craig Goldberg. I'm so happy that he's here today. This man is a path changer. Can't wait to bring you up here, Craig. So happy you decided to join us. I'm going to bring a lot of special guests in here, and I welcome you guys to do the same. So here's a video for y'all. Let me make sure I get you the audio. Let's go. Share screen, share computer sound, optimize full video. Boom, bam, here we go. Well, I am here with Mr. Warren Rosegreen. How you doing, Warren?
What's up, buddy?
Warren, how did we meet? Do you remember?
Gold's Gym.
Gold's Gym. I don't remember. I don't remember. No, I remember that story. I've been telling it every day since then. Tell them your side of the story if you don't mind.
Well, my side of the story, it was simple. He was
oh, my bad.
shredded back then, and I was shredded too. We both played sport. And walked up to him and was like, "Hey, man, I got this this guy I know wanted to introduce me to something. I want your opinion on something." And he opened, and he was open for it, and we just did that, and here we go today.
Here we go today. Crazy. And here we go today. And how many people have I met since then, since you introduced me to that man? It's been crazy, right?
It's been a ton.
Remember when we first started with Heart Bar? Because it was Heart Bar. We say Heart Bar. When we first started, I said, Warren, what do we do? And you're like, what did you say? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
You said, I don't know what to do.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds like me.
Yeah, you did the, I don't know what to do. So him and I got into network marketing. He prospects me at a local gym. Can you guys see this? Introduces us to a legend.
And now he's a maniac about it.
Wait, can you guys see the screen?
Not now. We were seeing it, but then it froze.
Okay, let me get it up. How long ago? About 10 seconds?
But we could hear it still, but it froze. The picture froze.
Okay, yeah, flag me down when that happens, guys. Hold on, I'm going to try it again.
Okay.
Sometimes Zoom has been acting up lately. For those of you who use Zoom, sometimes the screen will just freeze. Here we go. First started with Heart Bar, because it was Heart Bar. We say Heart Bar. When we first started, I said, Warren, what do we do? And you're like, what did you say? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
You said, I don't know what to do.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds like me.
Yeah, you did the, I don't know what to do. So him and I got into network marketing. He prospects me at a local gym, introduces me to a man who introduces us to a legend.
And now he's a maniac about it. You know what I mean? So, but it's a good thing. And so he finally found something really good that I'm interested in getting back into it, because nutrition is always a good thing for all of us, and fitness is a part of my life, and we got to know what we're putting in our bodies. But if you can do your DNA and it tells you exactly what you need to take, I think it's a no-brainer all around the board.
All right, I can't wait for you to get your kit and get ready to roll. And so this is my path changer, guys. He laughs every time I say that, but I'm actually writing a book about him that's going to be finished.
Goodness.
Wait till you read your book, man. It's going to be your book. How do you feel? What if, Warren, let's think about this. What if that concept goes around the world and it changes millions of people's lives? Because it's A story about how you have the power to change another person's life and path. So I won't play the whole thing because the video gets kind of lengthy here. He gets into a little bit of a spiritual conversation, which I am not afraid to share with people. But on this call, I'm just going to kind of cut that because we're running out of time here. But if you guys want, you can go to my page. So you know what's so funny about Warren? He's oblivious to the fact that he has literally changed the lives of tens of thousands of people, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people. And I'm going to tell you why I believe that's true. So when he walked up to me at the gym, I love how he tells his side of the story, because his side of the story is not the real story. He hasn't been telling it for 16 years. He forgot the real story. When you guys hear me tell it, I give the real story. But as simple as that, in his mind, he walked up to me and asked me if I was open to take a look at a business. Little did he know that that moment, that path-changing moment, was going to lead to me meeting a man who introduced me to another man who became my mentor. And then that mentor taught me how to be successful in business. And then I went out there and built a big business. And in that business, I was able to touch the lives of the message of PathChangers with tens of thousands of people with that particular company way back in 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007. So there's no telling where that story went from there. When I say tens of thousands of people, I know for a fact I have spoken and I've been in front of people either in video or in person or on stage, probably in front of 50 to 100,000 people with that company alone, maybe more, 50 to 100,000 people. So those people heard a story about, you know, we have a chance to change people's paths, and if you embrace that responsibility to be a path changer, you can enrich your life and change your life and change the lives of other people. But, you know, I could tell you guys a few stories about a few people that I was fortunate to meet along the way, that because my path intersected their path, those people went on to do things even bigger than what I was able to do in business. I've got a friend of mine right now. His name's Goldberg Santos. He's from Brazil. And Gutenberg came to one of my meetings way back in 2005. And a little short little guy, kind of awkward guy at first. Now he's the most polished guy I know. But he walks up to me at the end of the meeting. He looks up at me. I'll never forget the way he looked at me, because sometimes when people are wearing glasses, their eyes are a lot bigger than they appear. So I remember seeing his eyes just like these big buggy eyes. And he's kind of short. And he looks up at me and he goes, "Michael Zappia." He says, "You're the next Mark Hughes." And I said, "What?" He said, "You're the next Mark Hughes." I go, "I heard you say it." Just so you guys know, Mark Hughes was the owner of a company called Herbalife. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of Herbalife. Mark Hughes is a legend of all legends. That man has changed the lives. When he created that company, Herbalife, I don't know if he even knew the kind of ripple effect he was going to have on the world, not just with health products, but with personal growth. That man has changed the lives of probably tens of millions of people because of the message he put out way back when. But this little guy looks up at me and says, "I'm the next Mark Hughes." I said, "That's probably the greatest compliment anyone's ever given me since I've been in this profession. If I do 1/1000th of what Mark Hughes did in my lifetime, that's a major success." But this little Brazilian guy ends up going out there. A couple years ago, I get a phone call from my friend John Eric. My friend John Eric introduced me to this young guy named Gutenberg Santos from Brazil. And he says to me, "Mike, did you hear what happened to Gutenberg?" And I said, "No, what, guys, what do you do when someone says, 'Did you hear what happened to so-and-so?' You kind of freak out, right?" So I was kind of freaking out. I'm like, no, is he okay? Because I love this little guy. And he goes, "Is he okay?" And I go, "Yeah, is he okay?" "Mike, he just came to my DMV shop. He just registered 5 exotic vehicles." I go, "Gutenberg?" I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You didn't hear, did you?" I said, "No, I didn't hear." Ever since we worked with him years ago, he learned how to do this business. He's now making about $2.5 million a month. He's a multi-million dollar earner every month. And he is an international sensation in network marketing. And I go, "Get out of here." He goes, "Zappia, I'm not lying to you. He registered a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, a Rolls Royce, a Maserati, and then he didn't tell me, I don't remember the last one." And I just stood there and I go, "He did what? He's making what?" He launched a network marketing company in Brazil around car cleaning products. And it went massive. And then he got involved with another company, and then he got involved with another international company. And literally right now, the last I heard, he's making in excess of $2.5 million a month. Now, forget about the money. Do you know how many people's lives you have to touch to make $2.5 million a month in network marketing? You have to change the lives of hundreds of thousands of people globally. And this little guy is living a dream right now. As a matter of fact, he's not taking my call. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years now. I did call him after that moment. And it was so funny. I was his mentor, right? He called me. I grabbed a journal and he started talking. And I wrote down like 8 pages of notes of what he was talking about. He's like, Zapia, I learned everything from you. I'm just telling you what you taught me. I'm like, no, this is good stuff here. I'm writing this down. He's like, it's all your stuff. And I'm like, really? I don't remember teaching you all this stuff. And it was just cool to know that since the day I decided to become a path changer and change other people's paths, that it's created a ripple effect. And here's the message for all of you. No matter what your industry, whether you're in home-based business or not, you're in real estate, whatever you do, you have the power to change people's lives. And just so you know, it will create a ripple effect. You share one good book with one person. What if you share the greatest secret in the world with Ken? And Ken shares it with his real estate company. And his real estate company shares it with their friends and family. And before you know it, that book hit the hands of another 250,000 people. And let's think about those 150 to 250,000 people that got one book referral because Ken Calder decided to open up this path changer concept to his real estate company. And now, Ken, you get to sit back and not even realize how many lives you're inadvertently changing. You're never going to meet all these people. You're never going to know all these people. And the ripple effect that you're creating by adopting this mindset and concept is literally going to change lives. Some of those 250,000 people that are going to read the book, The Greatest Secret in the World, might have been suicidal. Maybe many of them were depressed. And how many people are going to pick up that one book that we read every morning on this call, and it's going to literally change people's lives? How about save people's lives? You know, we live in a world where there needs to be more positivity. Everywhere you go, people want to argue and fight, and wars over religion. And we live in a crazy, crazy world, and there's a lot of negativity out there. Yet what we're doing is breathing positivity into people. And you know what? I believe in you. Where you might have said that to somebody today, nobody's told them that they believed in them in maybe 25, 30 years, if ever. Think about that for a second. So when we talk about my headband idea, the headband that says, make me feel special, can't wait for one of you guys to help me execute that. If you're waiting on me, you're late. I'm still waiting for one of you guys to help me execute on the headband idea. Seriously, I got all the ideas in the world, but if you guys don't help me, none of them are going to get out there, including PathChangers. So I'm just looking at how many people took some notes. I know Ken just wrote it down. Help Zappia with the headband idea. Headbands that say, make me feel special. How about guys in the NBA running down the court with a headband that says, make me feel special? What do you think that movement would do in professional basketball if all these little kids watching the LeBron James and the Stephen Currys, and what if the newest, hottest idea in the world is a headband created by me that says, make me feel special? And it leads to millions of kids. You guys don't think I can find a professional basketball player to wear that with the NBA logo on the side? I'll bet my life on it I can get somebody to do it. But that's an idea. I put that idea in my mind. I can manifest it. I'm just telling you, Ken, I need you to help me find a headband company. Would you do that already? I'll give you 2% of the company, Ken, if you help me execute it now. 5% if we make it to the NBA. Please, nobody quote me on that. There are no verbal contracts when you do business with me, so that's off the table right now, Ken. We'll talk about it offline. But anyway, you know, this morning I'm like, what am I going to talk about? Yesterday, what am I going to talk about today? There's nothing else to talk about but changing people's lives. Every single person on this screen right now cares about other people. And if you care about other people, it's as simple as shaking someone's hand, giving them a nice smile, introducing yourself, exchanging information with them. Have no expectations, no intentions of where that relationship's going to go, but have every intention in your own mind that your goal is to change their path for the better, radically and positively. And what would happen if you woke up like that every single day, and that's what you did every single day? Where would you be, and where would the people in your life around you be if that's what you did? Every one of us has a product we represent. We all sell something. We all buy things. We live in a world. Business means you buy and sell things. Everyone here buys and sells things. If you want to be successful, you got to figure out a way to get a lot of people to buy your things or to enroll in your program. Simple as that. You change your life if you serve enough people with a product. But if you really want to do some gratifying work, You'll change people's lives if you just go out there with the expectation in your mind to change other people's paths. And watch your business explode when you care about other people and you don't get what you don't get something in return, or you're not expecting anything in return. I think the biggest problem, and I'm going to introduce Craig here in a moment, I think the biggest problem that's been in my life is expectations. I don't know if you guys would agree. I've gone into my life, into a lot of relationships, and I have expectations of what the other person's going to do for me, do with me, be for me, be to me. And I think as long as you live your life expecting something, the only thing that could possibly happen is you're going to get let down. So why not go into every relationship with no expectations? And then if they do anything at all, they're going to over exceed your no expectations. So I don't know if you guys can connect with that, but listen, I've gotten to where I am personally and professionally because I've been willing to work hard on me. And I still work hard on me every single day. I have an assignment for all of you. And here's the assignment. Write down 3 things today that you don't like about you. 3 things today that you want to change about you. And be honest with yourself. What are 3 things that you want to change about you? You know, the number one thing that I have changed, I've asked myself this question, I stopped worrying. The one thing I don't want to ever do again is worry. Think about this for a second. What is worry? It is meditation or praying on something you don't want to happen. That's the definition of worry in my mind. Prayer and worry are opposites. You're either praying and asking, or you're worrying and fearing. You're praying and you're asking for the universe, for the world, for God to bring something into your life in a positive way. You're praying for health. You're praying for wealth. You're praying for peace. You're praying for better relationships. Or you're worrying about your health. You're worrying about your relationships. You're worrying about your job, your money, your career. So just this past week, I had an epiphany. I was talking to a friend of mine named Carlos, who at the time was very worried about something happening in his life. I'm like, dude, what good's it going to do if you worry? Seriously, think about it for a second. All that energy you're putting on worrying, you can be putting all that energy on praying and starting to ask and start to do what you need to do to change your situation. I gave him this bit of advice. I said, turn your worry into hurry. You're worried about not making your bills, get to work, hurry. You're worried about your relationship, get to work on your relationship, hurry, get to them, tell them that you love them. Say, do you forgive me? I messed up. I screwed up. I apologize. Do you forgive me? The person that doesn't forgive you, that's on them. That's not on you. So guys, I want to give Craig the rest of the floor here because you're going to love this, man. Today you're getting a little bit of the PathChanger nutritional pillar. We're going to bounce around on the PathChanger call. Craig is a guru when it comes to nutrition and health and wellness and ingredients and nutrients. He left a bottle of kombucha. I don't even know what it is in my refrigerator right now, but it's a drink that's going to help me with my intestinal health. Oh. I don't like being around Craig because he's so fit and so lean and so skinny. I feel like a moose around him. But the more I'm around him, the more I want to learn from, the more I want to be like him. So anyway, Craig is the owner of a company that he's going to tell you about if he chooses to. He's not here to sell you guys anything, but I think you deserve to know about this. He is the owner of a Vibro acoustic sound therapy company, and he put me on this device one day at my friend Hallie Gillen's house, and I'll tell you, it was the best 10, 15 minutes I've had in a long time. Completely just de-stressed me, got my whole body just rejuvenated, dropped into REM sleep, had vibro therapy running through my body, and I'm buying one as soon as I can afford to buy one. He knows I'm going to, but he's just an incredible man. So Craig, introduce yourself to a bunch of people that love people and changing paths. You're home right now, Craig. You're with family right here. So
good morning.
Welcome home.
Thank you for that amazing introduction. I can't even tell you how smitten I am with you, Michael, and how pleasurable it is to interact with you, to be around you, to watch you do what you do, to hear you speak. And it's really been an absolute pleasure. And to all of you, thank you for sharing some time with me over the next 45 minutes. I just want to tell you, no, I'm just kidding. I have no idea how long this is going to be or how long we're going to talk, but I know everybody's got important path-changing things to do. So I really just wanted to say hello and introduce myself. I will dovetail on one thing that you said, Michael, and that is trade your expectation for appreciation. And Tony Robbins taught me that, right? Trade your expectation for appreciation. You find 3 things in addition that you're grateful for every day. And all of a sudden you find what you are grateful for in a particular situation. What is it about this situation that can help me feel good about what's happening instead of the worry or the negative self-talk that's happening within my head? anyhow, my wife is also an amazing path changer. She's here. She just got in yesterday from LA, and she'll join on one of these calls as well. And I will be a regular face on this call. My path changing moment actually happened in 1999 when I took an internship, and 2 weeks into my internship, I got offered a full-time job selling telecom services in New York City at the age of 19. And I'll never forget it. Kevin Scott, it was 8 a.m. on a Monday morning. There was nobody on the sales floor, and he called me into his office and he said, "What's it going to take to get you out of college?" And I was kind of floored, and that's a whole other story. But I remember that moment like it was yesterday. And I think we as human beings have a social responsibility to take care of those around us. I don't care what your religious background is. I don't care what you think about what's happening in the world. But we all have an opportunity to hold the door for somebody. We all have the opportunity to give somebody a piece of advice or pick somebody up when they're down. And we never know what impact that's going to have and how that's going to catalyze change in somebody's life. And I can tell you that having lived this life for the last, I don't even know how long 99 is, 20 years, that these people come back into my life and they tell me about experiences they've had that I didn't even know. I was at a party, I was at an event, I held a door, I told somebody something that I was just pontificating about at the time, and they tell me how it touched their lives. So when you can be intentional about it, and that's just what my wife and I have done. And about 4 or 5 years ago, we had our own awakening. We had our own awareness brought to ourselves through an illness and an ailment that my wife was going through that we couldn't figure out what it was. And doctor after doctor after doctor, could it be diet? Could it be this? Could it be that? And they all said, no, take this pill. No, here's steroids. No, here's antibiotics. And ultimately it was diet. We changed her diet. We pulled gluten out of her diet. And within 72 hours, all the symptoms she was working with went away. Like that, like clockwork. She didn't believe it. She went back, started eating gluten again. All the symptoms came back. So at that point in time, we got very serious about these 3 different environments: what we put in our mouth, what we put on our skin, and what we keep in the air around us. And we began telling people about it a lot, everywhere we went. And we were that pushy vegan couple for a while that was like, no, you should be vegan. No, you really shouldn't be eating that. No, this isn't good for you. And here's why. And we began teaching and educating on what we learned. And we began researching heavily on what's in our food and what we keep in these skin products that are on us. And I'm sure many of you can relate to what I'm sharing because I see a lot of nodding heads. And it's one of the things that I love about network marketing. You find the right company and you find the right product and it's something you're passionate about and it works for you. Hopefully it'll work for other people and you tell people about it. Anyhow, fast forward to 2016, I get on the Vibro Acoustic Sound Lounge just like Mike did. And I looked up at 2 friends of mine that had created it and I said, I'm going to help you and I'm going to get involved. The name of that company is Holistic Health Science. And if you want to look it up, you can Google it. And if you got questions, I got answers, but I just wanted to take a few minutes and say hello. I'll be a regular staple on this call. I'll ask my wife to join as well. And I sure hope to hear from you guys and speak with you and connect with you and touch base. And Michael, I appreciate you taking some time with me.
My pleasure. I'm not done with you yet, though, Craig. Where are you sitting right now? I want people to get a glimpse as to what your life's like. Because you live a life that, quite frankly, I'm not envious because I'm not an envious person, but if I could flip and switch places with somebody, it very well might be you. Tell them where you're sitting right now and how you've been living for the past couple of years. I want people to know the nomad you are.
Yeah, so I'm living in an RV named Unity, and she's a 35-foot Class A RV that my wife and I have been traveling around the country for the last 20 months since July 1st of 2018. No. Yeah, 2018. No, 2017, sorry. So 19, 20 months, we've been traveling around the country, teaching and training, spreading the good vibes. My wife makes handmade jewelry, custom jewelry, face chains, body jewelry. So we've been taking the Sound Lounge and taking our business and traveling around the country and literally just dropping in on friends and family and sending them emails like, hey, what are you up to this afternoon? And they'll be like, oh, I don't know. And expecting us to be halfway across the country. And I'll be like, Can we come over? And yeah, that's me at Sundance. This is my Facebook page. And you go to RV. You can go to RV Life with Gold Zulu. We've been blogging about it this whole time. But I mean, you can see me. I travel. We travel a lot. It's my wife and I at Burning Man. My next burn will be my 8th. And yeah, there's Zappia and a face chain with Hallie. There you go. That's my wife's jewelry. She makes face chains and body jewelry. There's my RV in the background, actually. That was outside a Turkish night. My wife and her father performed Turkish music. And I love surrounding myself with beautiful people. And this photo stream is something fun. I never look at this stuff. This is great. That's us at in Sedona. That's my wife touching tongues, wearing matching pants. And yeah, there's all sorts of gold in there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for bringing that up. So look, when opportunity calls, I think there's a good lesson in this, right? The universe literally pushed this RV on us and this lifestyle. And I think, again, it doesn't matter your spirituality. We all have angels that speak to us, and they speak to us in subtle ways sometimes. And I think at first they speak subtly, and then they smack you in the side of the head with a freight train if you don't listen and you're not paying attention. And the signs for me come in all different ways. Sometimes they come in a friend offering something. Sometimes they come in a stranger offering something. Sometimes they come in a conversation that two strangers are having that I walk past, and I hear them say something that is very much for me and not for them, but very much relative to something that I've been thinking about or working through. Right? So sometimes the signs are literally in a sign that says this is a sign. And other times it's the universe saying you should be living in an RV full time, and you should be traveling the country. And as we traveled the country, we never drove more than 2 hours a day. That meant that we stopped 120 miles from where we were, no matter where we were. And sometimes that meant stopping in the middle of nowhere. And sometimes that meant stopping in a super small town where we didn't know anybody. We just literally pull the RV into the center of town and open up our doors and start meeting people. It was quite an experience, actually. And we're now in Vegas. We're going to settle down in Las Vegas and keep the RV, obviously, and get a house here in Vegas and start dropping into these Vegas vibes.
Right on, Craig. Craig, now tell them who has more contacts, even though you're a world traveler in your RV, but who actually has more contacts in their cell phone, me or you?
I mean, are we going off what like you could have, or after I erased 1,000 by accident?
I know.
I'm just kidding. I didn't erase. I don't want to give you any more anxiety than you already have around it. Mr. Michael Zappia has, as of Sunday night, 2 more contacts in his phone than I do. And I always thought I had a lot of contacts in my phone. 5,145
Yes.
to 5,100. And actually now I've met Denise and Carlos, although I don't know how many tens of hundreds you've added since Sunday night. But Michael, I'm going to help you get all that squared away. We'll get you all sorted.
Please, I need your help, Craig.
No
Awesome.
sweat.
I'm going to show them just a little bit of your project and your mission with Holistic Health Sciences, guys.
Please.
You can talk a little bit about it if you want, Craig. I'd really like you to educate people about what this is.
Sure. So look, I own and operate this company. It's called Holistic Health Science, and we're focused on Vibro Acoustic technology, sound to heal the body. And we are vibrational beings. Down to the quantum level, we are a series of atoms, protons, neutrons, electrons that are swirling around, and different artificial devices like Bluetooth and cell phones and Wi-Fi, it pulls us out of balance or out of harmony with the planet, and sound brings us back into harmony. I'm sure many of you are familiar with tuning forks or crystal bowls or singing bowls or gongs or didgeridoos. These are instruments that cultures have been using for millennium to help bring the body back into harmonic resonance or back into balance. And we've created a digital system for that. Inside that sound lounge are 4 tactile transducers, which is a fancy word for saying half a speaker. You put on headphones or you listen to music through a speaker, and the vibrations come up through the sound lounge and it vibrates your body. It's like a sonic massage. And I'm very much passionate about this. I stand on stages as large as I can to talk about the power and the science of mindfulness and what happens when we close our eyes to sit down to meditate, or to just close our eyes to relax and to take our mind off of what we're doing every day. And I'm very passionate about this project, and something that really I'm bringing to the world. I want every household to have access to this type of technology, if not through me, through 3 or 4 other companies that are out there that are doing it. But I believe very strongly in the power of sound to help us to relax, to bring us back to center, and to help us with this, a lot of these conditions that are inflammatory conditions in the body. Thank you, Michael.
Beautiful, Craig. Craig, I'll have you on from time to time if you'd like to.
I'd love to.
So part of the PathChangers community is all about changing our paths spiritually, which you're a spiritual being. It's one of the things I connected with before we even started talking. When I met Craig, it was like, boom, there was a really weird soul connection. I don't know if you felt it, Craig, but I definitely felt it. That night we hung out, we talked for 4 or 5 hours. I literally said to myself, this man's going to be in my life for the rest of my life. So spiritually, mentally, we focus on mindset on this call on a daily basis, getting your mind right, changing your thoughts. Emotionally, we're all emotional beings. You wake up from day to day and you don't know who's waking up. And you got to be able to adjust and adapt to what your emotions are of the day, and know what triggers you need to work on in order to get yourself out of a bad mood, out of depression, get into laughter, get into joy, get into gratitude, get into appreciation. And we talk about the physical body. Without our health, we have nothing. And mental health is a big part of that. But without your physical health, guys, if you're destroying your body, then you can't help anybody else. So if you don't help yourself first, you have to focus on you. We all know that. All of us do. But then there's relational, and there's nutritional as well. And Craig, on the next time you come on, I want you to really teach us a lot about the foods we're putting on our body. Talk more about the gluten thing. Talk more about all the things that you know, because you really are an expert in nutrition. I think all of us can benefit from that wisdom. So if you wouldn't mind stepping in and be kind of that nutritional pillar for the PathChangers team, I would love that.
I'd love to. I'd love to help anywhere I can and provide you insights that I've learned and read along the way. Happy to help.
Beautiful. Well, beautiful, guys. 8:37. We'll head out here in a second. But if anybody wants to say hi to Craig or give him a little bit of feedback, or maybe ask him a question, take it away.
Craig, congratulations on your
Hi,
win.
Craig. It's Sandy.
Hi.
Hi, Craig. It's Sandy in
Hi,
California. Is this similar to 432 hertz frequency?
Yeah, so 432 hertz. I was actually just replying to that in your comment. So when you look back at the history of music, at one point, all music was tuned to 432 hertz. That means that the A on the violin that starts an orchestra was tuned to 432 hertz. Sometime around 1900, they shifted to 440 hertz, and now all music is tuned to 440 hertz. There is a lot. When you get into the science and the research, there's a lot of back and forth on what's good for you and what people resonate with more. And a lot of people do say music tuned to 432 hertz is more calming and relaxing to the body. I tend to agree personally. Anecdotally, my experience with music tuned to 432 hertz is that it's more calming and more relaxing. Through the Sound Lounge, you can play any frequency. Right, so you can play 432 hertz. It won't come through the transducers. It will come through the headphones. These little AirPods, you could play 432 hertz through. These different frequencies have a different impact on the body. There's a body of research called Vibro Acoustic Therapy, which I'm in the process of getting certified for, and it's specifically the study of specific frequencies and their impact on the human body. They tend to be focused between 30 hertz and 120 hertz, which is why that's the frequency range of our Sound Lounge, because it's these low-end frequencies that have a really profound impact on the body. 432 hertz is a higher pitched hum. You don't get as much vibration out of it. The magnets that are moving inside the transducers, and this might be getting a little bit more too technical, but they're moving too fast. They're fluttering so fast that it's not, you don't actually move. You're not actually vibrating. You're kind of humming at a much higher pitch, if that makes sense. Anyway, I hope that helps.
Mhm. Yeah, I use that for sleep sometimes. Yeah, I use it for sleep sometimes.
Yeah, playing 432 hertz in the
But
background can absolutely
totally.
take
Yeah. Yeah, I could live without the television. In fact, I haven't watched TV in 6 years, but music, you take music away from me, I will surely die.
No, music
So,
has been used
yeah,
for
interesting.
the millennia. And what the Sound Lounge does is it basically upgrades the listening experience from auditory to physical, right? So you're not just listening with your ears, but you're listening with your entire body. It's a very full, it's like going to a
Wow,
concert.
fascinating.
Yeah. When you go to a concert,
Awesome.
though, that could be 500,000 watts of power. You do it with 300 watts. So it's much less intrusive on the body and more therapeutic.
It's almost as therapeutic as
Very, very cool.
Yeah, almost as therapeutic as a snoring chihuahua with an undersized esophagus. I had that last night, and it's
Hey.
you guys can pick up one of those. It'll only run you about $800 plus medical expenses over a 13-year career.
And
but-
food. You got to feed it every month.
Yeah, that's every day.
Michael, stop
Yeah.
pimping out your dog.
I know.
Stop
Anyone
pimping out
wants-
your dog, Michael.
Anyone wants an obese chihuahua, I can help you out with your Chihuahua Vibro Acoustic Sound Lounge.
There you go. Maybe we're onto something. Maybe that's the development channel.
Yeah,
We
could
could be
be.
on.
Could be.
Could be the mascot.
Mm-hmm.
He is the mascot. Craig, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
You're so welcome. Thank you all. I appreciate you all. And you, Michael.
Awesome stuff, Craig.
Namaste.
Yeah, my pleasure. Looking forward to spending more time with you guys and waking up with you.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Awesome.
Right on. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you. That was
Bye-bye.
fantastic.
Thank you, Craig.
All right.
Appreciate
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Greg.
Bye. Nice
Bye-bye.
meeting you.
Congratulations on your wedding.